Hi, peeps. I bet you thought you weren't going to see us tonight. But you were wrong. And we were wrong too, because we thought we were going to have to cancel. We are so happy to see you this evening. No thanks to Windows 10. Don't get me on my soapbox.
Oh,
Our next top 10,
man.
top 10 reasons Windows 10 sucks. There you go. I've said my piece. So, tonight though, we're revisiting something much happier. And we're going to talk about our finally getting played a whole mess of new 2016 games, new for us, that we didn't get to by the time we got to do our original list. We, at the end of 2016, we decided we had enough and we did a list of what we'd played, but we realized we also had a lot of games that we were really intrigued with that we never got to play. And it seems for us, it takes us a good, almost a whole nother year, right, to get through all those games. And so we thought, wow, this is really changing our opinion about 2016, so we wanted to revisit it. And here you are with us, also wanting to revisit. Great place to be.
I won't go into the chaos that was the last 2 hours, but so she's right. We originally did this list. If you want to go to the Wayback Machine to December of last year, we did it right at the end of the year, and we had barely played any of the major games. We played a handful of them, but not a lot of them.
Yeah.
And in fact, just to kind of preempt it's going to spoil the list a little bit, but there's 4 big games that we have not played that we probably won't ever play.
Yeah.
So they are...
You're ready to drop
not
jaws and make
not to
comments.
break people's hearts.
I know, here we go.
They are Mechs vs. Minions.
Sorry.
Arkham Horror, the card game.
Meh.
Because we're not really big Cthulhu people.
Meh.
Mansions of Madness 2nd Edition.
Meh.
Same reason. And it's a dungeon crawl, and we have a stack of
awesome dungeon
crawls that we haven't
yet
played.
Yep.
And then the one I might play at some point at a con, but I don't think she'll ever play, and that's Star Wars Rebellion.
Oh, I might play that. Meh.
So,
But yeah.
don't look for those on our list. So
Sorry.
And so,
You
but
can
other than that,
Go other places
I
for that
think
stuff.
we've played most of the other
big stuff?
major games.
I'm
of
sure you guys will think of
2016
one.
At
They'll
this
think.
point.
They'll think of one.
They'll probably think of one.
Remind us, I'm sure, nicely.
So this is our definitive 2016 favorite games.
Tommy, the answer is 0 will be from 2015 and 0 will be from 2017. Troll.
There may be some that the date's questionable because we go by the Board Game Geek date, and the Board Game Geek date is usually the first release of the game, and the first release of the game is usually in Europe. Alright, so with all that preamble and much ado to do.
At long last. At very, very,
At long
very
last.
long last.
We will get to
You hardy folks
our list.
really wanted to
really,
see.
truly, thanks
Yeah.
for sticking around
Mwah,
and
we love you.
watching because, that update. I told Rebecca if this wasn't her computer, it would have been broken half.
If I had a replacement, I would have broken it in half for him. So,
Oh my!
yeah. Yeah.
All right.
They're our
So
friends,
you all get
but
gold
they're not.
stars for sticking around. Well, people,
Double gold stars.
People that watch live.
Live. That's right. You guys are dedicated. We love you. You get 2 gold stars in my book.
But now we will get to the list. Our top 10 games of 2016. Revisited. Final answer. Final answer.
Is that your final answer?
Final answer.
All right.
All right, here we go.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Am I ready, IT guy?
I'm ready.
All right.
I'm on it.
That's why I keep him around.
I can do this part.
Woohoo! Just don't ask him to rely on Windows 10. No, just kidding.
I don't know if I like this look. I got the baseball cap and then a polo shirt. Is that... Does that have to go golfing? What is this?
Kinda.
Anyway.
You look like a nerd. It's all good.
I do look like a nerd.
He does.
All right.
Okay, you ready?
Lay it on
Ready?
us.
Okay. My number 10 is a recent acquisition. And I think it's going to stay solidly in this place the more I play it. And that is Fields of Green for my number 10. I really like this. It's very similar in mechanisms to Among the Stars, and those of you that know how much I like the space games and the tile placement and the different bonuses based off of where you place them and this and that. No, I love that. And this has that, and then it's also the farm theme's really cool. And it just seems like it's similar mechanisms, but it feels like a completely different game. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's got all
It's got
the
animals.
It's got animals. It's got all the stuff Among the Star, but then it also got some more resource management on top of
That's
it.
true.
Right?
That's true.
It's a meatier game, and this is one of the ones, and there'll be probably many on this list. This is one of the ones that technically in the U.S. is a 2017 game,
I don't want to hear it, Tommy.
but Artipia Games
Mm-hmm.
released it, I think, sometime last year.
Okay,
or
so it's
somewhere
still
last year.
2016.
Yeah.
So hey, whatever.
But it
that's
just came out in the
splitting hairs.
U.S. like in the last couple months.
Yeah, and it's a blast. I really enjoy playing it. I think the art's really cute on it. It's color coded, and I like the way they have the different cards for different things. So you can specifically get livestock cards, or you could specifically choose to get buildings. You can kind of customize the game a little bit by what you think you want to go for. What kind of engine do you want to build? And I really like that. And the neat thing is, too, if it's your first time playing, they have a suggested little tile that has suggestions, like how many of each card should you pick to try to help balance out and learn how the game works and everything. And I thought that was pretty fun.
Yep.
So
I would say if you like Among the Stars and you want something with a little more oomph to it, this is the game for you.
definitely check it out. Love it, love it, love it.
Good choice.
Thank you.
Not a great choice.
Oh, wow. Here we go.
All right, my number 10 is...
Fields of Green?
No.
I'd laugh.
The Networks!
Ooh! So low.
So I'm going to go on my list. I made little notes of where they were in the original list, and this was my number 4 in my original list. So that tells you something about how much this list has changed.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I love the Network. That's a good
this
game.
one went from 4 to 10. It is still an awesome game.
It is.
It's fun. It's a, I guess, card drafting game where you're trying to put on shows for a network. You're trying to be the coolest network in town.
Yep.
You got to get actors and commercials, and you want to do set collection with the different types of shows. And the shows, as they go along, just like real shows, they may start off slow and pick up, and then drop off. They may start hot and drop really quick. So you kind of got to cycle in new shows and decide when you're going to roll older shows off. It's really interesting game. It's got special powers and all sorts of cool stuff. So. The Networks, and there's a expansion that came out, and then there's another expansion coming out.
What?
So yeah. So
why do we not have these things?
Because we missed the first expansion, and the second one's just finished Kickstarter, I think.
Okay.
Oh no, it's going to Kickstarter in the fall.
As they say, I
Something
will
like
allow
that.
it.
But anyway,
I will allow it.
The Networks,
Such a fun
great
game.
little
Fun game.
card drafting game with some,
Very fun game.
flavor to it.
Very fun game. Very fun. Yes. Okay. And I just updated my list so that I can tell you where things were on my original top 10 and where they fall now. So, good stuff. My number 9 was originally my number 5. And that is A Feast for Odin. So yeah, like Hunter says, it's kind of amazing how things have shifted and dropped. But as I was looking at this, I did so very consistently. I did not look at my old list when I created my new one. And so this is kind of interesting to me, and you'll see why
all
later.
my games, so you say that all the games that were on my list before are in the same order on this list. Exactly the same
That's
order.
interesting. Yeah, my rankings for them,
None of them
they all dropped,
switched
but
places.
yeah, none of them switched places. I find that interesting for mine too. At least for the ones that are still in my top 10. Let me specify that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Feast for Odin, if you haven't played this yet, this is a heavier game. And it's, once again, another one of those great games where it starts out and you've got this slow burn, right? You start out and you feel like you're barely able to do anything in a turn. And then as the turns progress, you're able to do more and more, and you're collecting more and more resources until by your last few turns, you're just churning out stuff left and right. And you've got a board that's kind of Tetris-like. You're getting a bunch of different pieces, and you have to use certain combinations of them to fill in the places and collect resources from them by revealing certain spaces and this and that. And you're also, preparing your feast each round. You got to feed your people, right? And I love this game. I think part of why it doesn't hit as much for us maybe is I think this may be one of those that needs a broken token or what is it, meeple?
It's got a pretty good insert.
The insert's not bad, but it just seems like there's so much work getting this.
Well, it's a lot to set up and a lot to take down.
To set up
and it's
and
a
take
heavy
down.
game and it's a long game.
But it's fun. I really enjoy it. I like the artwork for it's really neat and it's colorful. I like the fact that it's kind of color coded. You have certain types that you can put, and you can't have two of the same ones touching and stuff. So there's I seem to like the puzzly aspect to a lot of games like that where it's spatial, and that one really has it in spades. So
It's a good one.
yep. And again, that was originally my 5, but it dropped to my number 9. So
She
I
hates it now.
yeah. Yeah, to tell you how difficult this list was to make, this time I easily wrote down 32 games before I said, okay, I'm going to stop and rank them from here. 32 games. Usually my top 10, I'm like, 10 to 15 games. And this one I'm like, blam. 2016 was a really good year.
Yeah, it
For
was a
games,
good year.
for us anyway.
A lot of people say it wasn't as good a year,
I
but
don't see
but there's
that.
a lot of games that fell in our wheelhouse. That
Yeah, they were just really solid.
a lot of times the bigger games aren't our type of games. Maybe they're kind of warish games, or they're
that could be kind of
they're-
like Rebellion and things like that.
or
but
they don't play well 2-player or whatever. But everything kind of fell in place.
it's true. It's true.
All right, that's a good one.
All right, so what's your number 9, sir?
My number 9 is an even better game.
What?
I
No,
kid,
you
I
didn't.
kid.
Oh, no, you
My number
didn't.
9 is Role Player.
Ooh.
I like it, the Role Player. So, yeah. So Role Player, basically,
That's it.
so Role Player is a game where you are creating a character for a role playing game,
Woohoo.
and that's the entire game.
That might sound boring. However, keep listening. So, yeah.
Oh my goodness, that chat wasn't moving. I'm like, are you guys not talking? And there's like 10 bazillion things. All right, so I'm way behind.
You're
on
just
chat.
missing the trolling comments from Tommy, I'm sure, so.
What is this?
Oh, you've distracted him now. Look
Oh,
at this.
anyway.
Tell us about Role Player.
Role Player. So basically, it's a game where you're drafting
catch
dice, and you're putting those dice to do the attributes for your character. You know,
Yes.
the standard strength, intelligence, charisma, dexterity, all that stuff.
Yep.
And you're trying to manipulate those dice in such a way that you get the attributes that are the best for
Attributes.
that too for your characters. I think it's attributes.
Attributes. Don't get them.
Attributes.
Oh my god, you just made them explode. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. 30 seconds, our chat's gonna go.
Anyway, so basically your character, based on your class and your race, you kind of want to manipulate the dice in a certain way. Maybe you want to have between a 14 and a 16 charisma and you get a bonus. You want to have an 18 strength, or maybe you want certain colors of dice in certain spaces on your character. It's just really kind of a puzzle. And if you have heard of Santorini that came out this year, Sagrada.
You're talking about Sagrada, right?
Sagrada,
Yeah.
that came out this year,
So pretty, too.
is a lighter version of the game. It's the same thing that you want certain numbers and you want to position them in certain ways. Role Player's kind of a beefier version, and maybe someone got that idea to kind of tone that down and make an easier game out of it. But this one's really fun, especially if you've played role-playing games before. Are they making fun of me?
No, I just saw a picture of a bomb in the chat, so they've caught up with us.
So, if you've ever played a role-playing game and you've rolled up characters, you're rolling 3d6 or whatever you're rolling to make up characters,
Yeah.
it's a full-blown game about that process of getting your stats in order.
Yeah, it's just really fun.
It is fun.
It's one of those with, like you said, if I was going to play with non-gamers, I'd play Sagrada because it's just the theme and just the beauty of it meshes more. There's a little bit more game, of course, with Role Player. So with gamers, they're probably going to be more intrigued with that one. So both are just awesome.
Yep.
Good pick.
Yep.
I like it.
And there's an expansion coming out for it that lets you actually take that character and fight monsters.
I cannot wait for that, actually. I really like what they've done so far, and I think it'd be fun to actually take what you've built, right, and go with it. So that could be either really awesome or just stinking hilarious, right? If you bombed one of your traits and to go stumble through something, I don't know. I find that would be really amusing, so.
All right. There you go. That's
Good one. Good one.
That is my choice. Number 9, Role Player.
Okay. My number 8 was my number 4. So as you can see, it's still higher up the rank than Feast for Odin, but still has dropped somewhat. And that is Oracle of Delphi. And this is another one of those games that, wow, we fell in love with as soon as we started to play it. It's not... It is Feld. It definitely feels like Feld, but it's a little bit different than his usual points here, go points there, or this and that.
Right.
This one, you're still, at its heart, I guess you could say, yes, you're still doing different things for points, kind of. But instead of points, what you're doing is you're accomplishing goals. And there's different kinds of goals you have to do. You have to go and fight a monster. You have to go and put a statue at the temple. There's just different things that you're doing. So, I mean, you could say, semantics, right? But it feels different. It feels like you're doing different things, and it feels more like a race. And I really enjoy the fact that our little boats are all over the board, because you're trying to figure out, okay, what would be the most efficient way for me to do this? Can I pick up the statue on the way to go fight the monster that would take me to, I mean, it just gets crazy. And if someone goes and snipes what you're going to do, you're like, I have to replan my mapping, and it's really fun. I love this one. It's one of our top Felds. Both of us, I'd say.
Yeah, so. I really, really like this one. It has uses dice for action selection, but you can manipulate those dice. Like she said, it's a race. There is no score at all. It's the first one to complete all the tasks and get to the finish line. It's unlike anything that he's done. That I've played anyway. It's really unique, and I like it for that. It has a modular board, so the map setup's different every time.
That's true. I forgot about that too. That's a fun aspect of it.
It's just a really, really amazing game.
Yeah. Good pick, Rebecca. Yeah, good job. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Yes, I know you're all shocked that Feld was on my list. I know.
All right. So what are we doing? My number 8?
Yes, you're number 8. Do I need to do like an Eric thing, like number?
I got it right here.
8.
No, number 8.
Well, I don't have the number 8 kind of voice. I'd have to do like a girl.
My number 8 is Star Trek Ascendancy.
What? This low.
Yes.
What is wrong with you? Oh my gosh. The internet, please.
I've cooled off.
What? What?
I've cooled off on Ascendancy. I don't know.
I'm flipping this table. I don't even know you anymore.
Star Trek Ascendancy.
Wow.
It is Star Trek the Attacky game.
Star Trek the apparently Hunter doesn't like a game.
It's number 8. There is some amazing games above it. That's all I'm saying. I'm more of a Euro-y kind of guy.
Is that the technical term?
Yes.
Please say yes.
Euro-y.
Euro-y. Don't ask him how to spell that.
Star Trek Ascendancy. It is basically it's a TI3-ish Star Trek game. It's you go out and explore, you take over planets, you get their resources, you do stuff, and you fight each other, and you're trying to get what's the thing you're trying to get?
Victory points?
It has a name.
It's like prestige or something. I forget the name all of a sudden.
I don't know. Anyway.
Influence? No, not influence.
So it's almost the game. The game is basically another kind of racing game, but it's a race to get.
But it's Star Trek.
A certain number of victory points, whatever you want to call. I forgot what they're called. But anyway, I don't know. I really like the game, but I've cooled off on it. Maybe because I haven't played it in a while. I don't know. I find myself more excited to play. I thought for a while I liked it better than Fleet Captains, but I find myself more excited to play Fleet Captains than
That's just because you got that Dominion expansion, isn't it?
Perhaps.
Well, you know what we need to do? We need to have a decision-making weekend. God knows when this will be, but where we play both back-to-back and we debate about this. And I think Jobby has a very good point. I think it's time we have an intervention and say 5 things that we love about each other so that I don't, Hunter's strange top 10 list doesn't destroy our marriage. It's true. Ascendancy number 8.
I don't know. I find in myself that
you don't like to attack people.
Yeah, I mean,
what? I find this interesting.
I do like those kind of games. It's just I find in myself I like the whole puzzly aspect. I don't know if it's puzzly, but the thought. It seems like this game has less. It's more building up forces and going and killing people than it is to.
Oh, I don't know about that because I did not do that and I won. I just want to say that.
Well, we played the game wrong.
No, you guys did. You dilly-dallied and let me build my empire. Yeah, just saying, played the game wrong.
Anyway, Star Trek Ascendancy, great game. It is awesome, but there is apparently 7 more awesome games than this one. I suspect from her anger, it's much higher on her list.
I think it's general principle, regardless of what my list says. I'm just saying. Onward. Obviously, we need to move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
So yeah.
What's a sin beyond this?
Oh wow! Nice segue. Okay, my number 7. I forget how someone mispronounced it at Dice Tower Con.
Oh my
It cracked
goodness.
me up, but it's.
Heck?
What did you do? Oh, whatever. Leave it there.
You got it.
I didn't do that on purpose.
What the heck?
Just turn it over. Who cares? IT guy broke the internet.
I didn't do it. You put scythe. It's cutting me off. It's like
Oh, a spoiler!
It's going through my chest.
Whatever.
Scythe.
Put it like it's on your t-shirt. You're like, I like scythe. Or as we jokingly call it, skitha. But it's scythe. Okay? Or scythe, as Eric said it so nicely. So anyway, love this game. Love this game. And it's funny because at first I really was hesitant to play this because it looked to me like a very heavy war game. And it is area control and you are attacking each other. But your player mat has all these great, like, puzzly engine builder things to, like, get yourself going and build up your armies. And I almost don't care if people annihilate my armies. I'm just like, I'm over here playing on my player mat having a wonderful time. And the story cards for this are hysterical. I don't know if you've played this game. If you haven't, you need to try it just to see. I think you'd be pleasantly surprised by how fun it is. And the story cards are probably what make the game for me more than anything, because you get these choices and it's like, you come across this field and encounter a farmer with his pigs. Do you A, they'd escaped from the pen or something. Do you A, help the farmer get the pigs back in the pen? B, kill the farmer and steal his pigs? Or C, chase the pigs through the village so it causes a bunch of chaos? Or something completely ridiculous, right? And you get different benefits or detriments and things based off of how villainous you decide to be, or if you decide to help them, and your resources you get from it vary because of what you've chosen, and it's wonderful. I love them.
Yeah, I like games like that where there's a balance between, okay, if you do something nice, you get a lesser reward, but it doesn't affect your reputation. But if you do something better, to get a better reward, you have to lose reputation for doing it. It's kind of reminds me of Lords of Waterdeep, the Scoundrels Skullport. If you take the corruption, you get better resources, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but you're corrupting yourself in the process, right?
Yeah, Scythe, I like Scythe. I mean, it does have combat in it, but it's not as punitive, because all it does is reset your guys back to your base.
Yeah, and I think, I don't know, there's just something about it that's a little bit different than the average, go and blow up everybody, because you're going over, and it's a lot about taking over the areas that'll give you certain resources too. It's not just about, I want to take over the world.
Right.
And I think that's what I like about it. It's very strategic area control, because you might end up giving up some of the areas that you have on purpose because you don't need these resources anymore, and you don't care about them, or you prioritize them differently, or whatever. You're like, you can have that, because I'm going after this instead.
Yep.
And I love it.
It's a Euro with combat.
Yeah. There you go.
All right.
Here it is.
It's okay choice.
And hi, Dean.
It's back to my shirt.
Yeah, your Scythe shirt. Huh.
All right, my number 7 is not Skithy. It is a new game for us. It is Lorenzo il Magnifico.
This game is Magnifico.
I like this, and this one would be, I bet it could go up my list with more plays, because we just recently played it, and I immediately fell in love with it.
Yes.
I love it. It is, you look at it, you think it's a heavy game, but it is like viticulture weight game, and it is fun. It was easy to learn. It's got interesting choices. It's got the tightness of a worker placement game. It's even tighter than most worker placement games. It's just a great all-around nice Euro game where you're using dice to basically the dice. You roll dice, and then the number of pips on the dice tells you how strong your actions you're taking for each of those different colors.
I really like that too.
And you go to different spots on the board based on the pips of your dice. You can manipulate those up and down different ways, and then you take actions and you do cool stuff and you win the game.
And if we were to redo the Blender episode about don't judge a game by its cover, this one would be it, because you're looking at it going, is this going to be like a heavy dice pushing? The cover is...
Or it's about selling carpet.
Yeah, you know, a rug salesman. I totally, yeah, it looks like that Oriental rug. I don't know. It's just bizarre. It's like, how magnifico can this be if the cover can't get exciting? I don't know. But yeah, it's a very strange cover, but don't go by that. It's definitely not as heavy as it appears. It's still got some meat to it. It's not
viticulture. Like I said, it's about a viticulture weight.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more, but it's right there.
But this game, I think it's one of the ones I'm want to play over and over again because it just flows so well. It's pretty fast. I love games that are tight and you really have to think, okay, what is she gonna do on her turn? So I need to either go quicker there, or is she gonna block that? Oh, I got to rethink what I'm gonna do. It's got all that where your brain's churning with the worker placement games.
Or I think he's gonna go there, so I think I'm gonna go there first. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's awesome.
And turn order in this is very important. It
is. I was shocked at how much, because I ended up, he kind of just was like, man, whatever, you can have the first turn. And then after, 3 turns of that, you're like, oh, not so good, because I was sniping a lot of really good places for you. And so that ended quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, really good.
Yep, so, it's a good one. I really enjoyed it, and I think it's going to be one of my faves once I crank it out a few more times.
Yeah, I do too. Because it's, like you said about the viticulture comment, this is another game like viticulture that anytime someone said, hey, you know what, let's play a game, this would be one of the first ones I'd want to think of now.
Yeah, to play. It just made me think of one of the reasons you get that heavy game feel in an hour.
Yeah. Yeah. And, come on now, that's awesome. All right, we're on
Lorenzo Il Magnifico!
My number 6. What did you just do?
Nothing.
He's blowing up the computer again.
Got it under control. Except for Windows updates. I don't have that under control.
Yeah, well, no one has that under control, not even Windows. My number 6 sounds like a broken record for you old school people that know what records are.
Lorenzo Il Magnifico!
Yes. For all the reasons he said and then some, because obviously I like it a little bit more. No, it's... Wow, we're going to be playing this a lot, I have a feeling. So, I just...
Yeah. I think this one will do nothing but go up our list.
It is. I honestly... I'm thinking I'm probably going to put it up there right, like, with Viticulture when I do my top 100, unless something drastic changes.
I don't know if it's going to be as high as Viticulture. Viticulture's pretty cool.
It is, but so is this. I think... I really
get that same niche.
I get the feel from this game's going to stick around a long time for us.
Oh, yeah.
The instant we started playing it, I was like, ooh.
Well, it'd be like Viticulture was early on, is like anytime we go, well, what do you want to play? Oh, let's play Viticulture.
Yeah.
It's gonna fill that niche of, we don't know what we want to play, we'll just pull this one off the shelf and do it.
Love it. So there you go. I'm not going to, like, beat a boring-looking Italian guy up.
Zaki? Aspect plays well too. Does it play well too?
Yes. It plays very well too.
But
love it.
I will say this:
there is a variant.
It plays well too, but some spaces are covered that you don't use.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
Other than that, it doesn't have gameplay changes really. It's just it tightened it up, right? It just tightened up the board.
What the places that a lot of the places that we covered up are spots like if you go to this place you get something really cool, but you can go to a lesser spot and get something not as good. It just takes away those lesser spots so that you only have one. You're really vying for that spot because there's only one of them.
Yeah, right? It basically just tightened up the board so that 2 players can play it with the same weight. So, yeah. Yes. All right. So, there you go. That's my number 6. Onward, sir.
Someone said they lost us. I show no drop frames, so I don't think I think it's you, not us.
Hey, for once.
I hope.
For once.
Onward to my number 6. My number 6 is...
Lorenzo Il Magnifico?
No! My number 6 is a game you have not played. Hopefully you'll play it Saturday.
Ooh.
And that is...
Oh, here we go again.
Yokohama!
I'd clap more, but...
I put that right there with Lorenzo. It's the same...
Really?
Same level as Lorenzo.
Ooh. Okay.
I think this one, Yokohama is probably a little bit of a more meaty game. Probably a little bit longer game. I don't know how well it plays 2 because I've never played it 2, but I really, really enjoyed it. It's my kind of game. It has that worker placement feel, and it's got that weird Istanbul movement where you're kind of moving around the board and dropping off things, and it's got a really interesting the way you do worker selection. You have to be able to move through your assistants. It's just got some really cool things. Lots of different goals, lots of paths to victory.
Always good.
Many different things you can do.
I like
it was really, I really enjoyed it.
Awesome.
Yokohama.
Someday.
Someday. Saturday.
You just put that in there to be different. I see how it is.
No, I really liked it. It's really good.
No, that's cool.
I'm waffling on trying to get the deluxe.
You're still waffling on this?
I think I'm gonna end up getting the
man.
regular version, and I'll cry a little bit.
And then he'll end up. No.
Tommy will point at that and laugh and say, "You got the lame-o version." But we got the lame-o Orleans, and that worked out just fine. So.
Although the deluxe Orleans was very shiny.
Don't remind me. My number 6, Yokohama.
Okay. My number 5. Apparently this isn't a surprise really. I like way more than you.
Yeah.
And that is The Networks. This
The
was...
Networks is squished.
Yeah, I think had we
Squish.
played The Networks? No. Oh,
What's that?
we had barely played The Networks when we'd made this list, and I had it as my number 11. And so I guess now that I look at this, that has shot up.
Wow, I was way up my list.
Yeah.
Mine was 4 last time.
Yeah. I think you'd played it twice, though. Because I think that when you played me, it was the second time or something like that. And this game, I love this game. This game I put on the same line as, like, Pursuit of Happiness. For me, it's like you're like, going through and doing, your little life thing, and you got your TV channel, and you're going to try to make it the best thing possible, and you start out with the cheesiest, goofy, horrible shows, like Learn to Play the Recorder and stupid things that you have, and then you test pattern, or What's in My Pockets with the scary homeless looking guy, and just like, they're horrible, and then you start getting better actors, and you get interesting, strange commercials, and you start getting these programs. Then I love the spoofs they did off of actual TV shows, and it's just, I don't know, I just thought it was really clever, and I love the humor in it, and I love the gameplay, because you're making all these great choices, you're trying to make this balance. Okay, this one, this ad, if I place it in the 9 o'clock slot, actually gives me more benefits than if I put it in any other slot, so you want to try to match it up with another show that takes an advertisement so that you can get all the bonuses from it, and just the balancing of that and the money you make versus the money you have to spend to keep upgrading, and the timing, because you only have a certain number of rounds, and it's a lot of fun. I love it.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that if you read the cards and get into it a little bit, it's more interesting than if you're just kind of playing mechanisms, right?
Yeah. Yep.
It's a good one.
So there you go.
So it shot up your list, and
it did.
Shot down my list.
Yeah. So I guess it was the only anomaly out of the ones that I had played at the end of last year. So there we have it. The Networks. Go check it out. It's wonderful.
Someone asked if we're getting an expansion. Yes, there's already one expansion, but it's already come and gone, and it's unavailable.
Oh, man.
But they're going to kickstart another expansion, a big expansion, sometime in the fall, I think.
Oh.
And you can, as an add-on, get the original expansion.
Oh, cool.
It was like a mini expansion, and this one's a big box
Big
expansion.
One? See, I would be all over that, because I think it'd be fun to add more shows to that. Because if you play that a lot, after a while you're like, okay, haha, the show's funny. You're not going to enjoy it as much. I haven't gotten to that point yet, but I can see where it could. So, expansion for that is nothing but good.
So I got a bunch of hate for my number 8. The hate train's about to pull in town again.
For me or the audience here?
From you. My number 5 is Terraforming Mars!
I will let that slide.
Terraforming Mars.
I will let that slide. It's in your top 5.
It was my number 3 last time. It's now number 5. It's dropped just a little bit. So that means if you use your thought processes here, there's 2 new games up at the top somewhere. Anyway, Terraforming Mars, awesome kind of engine building, terraforming roleplay kind of game. I don't know.
What? What?
I like that I guess thematic is the word I want. For a card game, it is extremely thematic. I like how that basically you're trying to terraform Mars, so you're trying to get the temperature up, you're trying to get oxygen, you're trying to get plant life, you're trying to get the heat level up, all that good stuff. And the cards are written in such a way that they only come out during certain times. So if you got a card that gives you animals, obviously you can't do it if there's no water
Or oxygen.
or oxygen. But you might get early on. You might get microbes. This kind of will happen earlier than maybe mammals, and then ocean life can't happen until there's a certain amount of water and all that stuff. So the cards are somewhat thematic, and your animals will eat the plants and all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah.
But at its heart, it's an engine building game where
It is.
you're drafting cards and you're purchasing them and you're putting them in a way where they combo off each other and they work off each other. So at its heart, it's an engine building game.
Yeah.
But it's an awesome game. I hear a lot of complaints about the components, and they don't seem to bother me. The only issue I have is the player boards.
Yeah, that would be
That's
my
the
only
only thing
thing.
I really have an issue with.
But they have so many great websites have put up really cool little oh my gosh, the little like covers that you can put over it so you can just put the cubes in and they won't get jostled around. And I thought that was pretty cool. In fact, I'm kind of shocked. I guess we just haven't played it enough recently to where we would go buy those because, yeah, I think they're pretty awesome.
Yep, so that's my number 5, the awesomeness that is. So I will say that, networks and Role Player were kind of, they're kind of a step down, but the top 8 of my list are all awesome games.
That's how I felt about my top 10. I was just like, wow. Honestly, you're going to laugh, but my top 20 easily, if someone suggested them, I would say yes in a heartbeat. I wouldn't even think about it because I loved them so much. And pretty much all of them that we've played this year. Of course, again, as you guys know, we tend to research things before we play them, so that helps increase the chances that we're going to like the game anyway. Because we usually try to only target ones we think we're going to like, but it just seems like overall this has been a really strong year. We didn't really have any that were like totally saying, oh, you know what, this one's a dud.
Yeah.
We really haven't had that, so.
A couple questions they asked.
Oh.
I don't know if she doesn't know who won the Kenner the Spiel Awards. You got the the strategy game, you have the family game, and you have the kids game.
Didn't
I told you Ice Cool.
Ice Cool won, and then didn't King Domino
King Domino won the family game.
Yeah, did they already announce the other one? Because I didn't see it.
Yes.
All right, who won?
It was between Terraforming Mars, Exit the Room, and
Exit. Okay.
and it flew out of my head. El Dorado, right? El Dorado.
That sounds right.
No.
Or
Raiders of the North Sea.
Okay, I haven't.
Raiders
played
of
that.
the North Sea.
I don't know that.
El Dorado was the family game.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So Raiders of the North Sea, Terraforming Mars, and Exit the Room. Which one do you think won?
Well, obviously not Terraforming Mars by the way you're acting.
Exit the Room won.
Oh, you mean the marriage tester? Okay.
Oh my gosh, we will never play another one of those games ever again. Sometime in the Q&A, ask us about our experiences with Exit the Room. But anyway, I think Terraforming Mars should have won this hands down. I have not played Raiders of the North Sea. I saw it being played, and I'm like,
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm hands down Terraforming Mars. I don't even care about North Sea.
Exit the Room. Oh my. But anyway, Terraforming Mars is awesome. It is a little longish. It is somewhat heavy. But
Maybe that's why because it's a longer.
Well, it's supposed to be. It's a strategy game, but maybe it's even too long for that because people vote on this and.
Well, I was gonna say because 2 players is a good length, right? But I hear it can kind of get long if you've got the full player count, right?
Oh yeah.
So
I could see it's a 3+ hour game with a lot of people with the full player count. But anyway, Terraforming Mars, my number 5. We'll move on. We should have chatted enough about all that craziness.
All right, what you got?
I don't know. It's your number 4.
Is it? Oh, we're on to my number 4?
Yes.
My number 4 will shock you not. What's your problem? I know it's like your number 2. All right. Great Western Trail. Man, Stronghold like nuked everybody this year in general. Honestly.
Last year.
Well, last year. This year they've got some good stuff.
They made a lot of good
But
games
last year was insane. Great Western Trail. Oh my gosh. I would play this game.
Why all your little titles
Something
have popped up.
did something strange, but
funny.
anyway, this game is such a smooth running game. I really like the way it plays, and It doesn't take all that long to... It's one of those games where it doesn't take you all that long to figure out how to play it, but there's so many different strategies and options that you can do in this game that mastering the game would take longer, I would say. Because you've got your track and you can go several different paths through the route. It's kind of circular, and you're going through and you have your start point. You go and you buy cattle. And again, it changes. So each game's going to be a little bit different, but you buy cattle and you trade this and that, and you're doing resources and stuff. And at the very end of that, you're trading in your cows for your money, and then you're moving your train down the path, and you start back over again, and you're doing that. And you can get like engineers or cowboys and different things that the more of those people that you have, the more efficiently, you could buy cattle, or you can buy more expensive cattle, or you move your train farther, or, there's all these different things you can do. And you can also put up kind of roadblocks on the path that will cost the other players and yourself, if you happen to go that route. You have to pay kind of a penalty to go through that path and things like that. It's a pretty amazing game.
Yeah, Great Western Trail, like you said, it is a heavy game, but it doesn't, once you play it and understand it and go through it once, it doesn't feel heavy anymore.
Yeah.
It feels like you have some interesting choices, and there's lots of different paths to go, but they all make that, like you said, you just explained how almost everything works just in that short amount of time.
It really is a very, at its heart, very simple concept. But I think the only thing that kind of cracks us up is like the only thing that's not thematic per se is that you're not collecting one type of cows. You're supposed to have a whole different set of cards.
Right.
And that seems kind of silly because you're like, well, wait a minute. Most people herd cattle.
Yeah, but
whatever.
But I like the fact that the whole thing is you start with a bad hand and you're trying to make it better.
Make it better. It's cool.
And it's got that deck building aspect of you got to cull out the crappy cows and make it tight. And that's part of it. There's different, like you said, you can do the cowboy path. You can do engineering, try to get all the bonuses for moving your train. You can make lots of buildings and get victory points that way.
Yeah.
It's just every time I play it, it's just so smooth. It's one of those games that when at the end you don't want it to end. You want to keep playing. You want to keep going. And I think it's a good sign of a game is when you get to the end, you're like, oh, I want to keep going.
It's like I want to try this differently.
I want to keep going a couple more turns, or a couple, that too, and like, okay, next time I want to try engineer and see if I can get good points that way. But yeah, I love the Great Western Trail. It is awesome.
And higher on your list.
Potentially.
All right, tell us, sir, of your number 4.
My number 4. Oh, I didn't say. I said Terraforming Mars was 3 last time. Did I say that? Terraforming Mars was my number 3. I think I said that.
Oh, okay.
But my next one was my number 2 last time.
What?
My number 2 last time was... A Feast for Odin. Patchwork meets Caverna. And you have Pugverna.
Don't quit your day job.
So it's a heavy Euro game where you're collecting all these resources and tiles and stuff, but then at the end you're taking all those tiles and putting them on a board like Patchwork and trying to clear boards and make points. So it has the Caverna heaviness of your building, you're recruiting all these resources and doing all these things and animals and stuff, and then the end goal is to put all those little pieces on a patchwork board and fill it up and make tons of victory points. So I really like this game. I think I liked it more the first time I played it. I didn't like it as much the second time I played it, but I still loved it. And I think the newness of it was, oh, look at all this cool stuff you can do, but now it's kind of just calmed down, and I think it's found its place in the line of Uwe games. I think it's right there. Caverna and this are kind of fighting for third place.
Oh my!
Below
spoilers,
Fields of Arle and Le Havre.
You still, you.
I love Le Havre. That game is just something about that game.
Very cool.
But anyway,
cool.
A Feast for Odin, my number 4. It was number 2 last time.
My goodness.
It dropped just a little bit. But it's still amazing.
Okay.
Amazing.
Yeah. No,
super duper heavy Euro game.
Yep. But it's just very fun, very fun.
It is fun.
All right.
Who does like putting tiles on a board?
Yeah.
Apparently, that's every game that's coming out now.
Yeah, I know, right? That was like tiles on a board. What? All right, we are down to my number 3.
Number 3.
It's moved down a step. It was my number 2 last time.
Ooh.
So it comes as no surprise that I still love on Mystic Vale. You guys are like, what?
Mystic Vale.
Exactly. See what he said.
Is that on my list?
Whatever, hater. Yeah, it's like you're 32.
No, it's
Whatever.
probably in the teens somewhere.
I love deck builders. I played CCGs for a while and stuff, and I still like the fact that I can shuffle up a deck and throw this down and just play this game. And I love, 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 love this concept of you've already got your deck, but you're building the cards. And I love that each time your deck is going to be different because the combinations that come out and your opportunities and how the money, what money you get each turn is going to make a difference on what you end up purchasing and what you're going for and the bonuses that you go for, those bonus forest cards and stuff. And I just, wow. And we had the expansion with it, and I really like a lot of the extra cards that they added to that. It kind of changed up the game a little bit for us. It seems like there's a lot more speed to it, right? We talked about how you can buy more expensive things more quickly now, and it seemed to move the game along. And I hope that they keep doing stuff with Mystic Vale, but I also hope that there are more, either they make more games or somebody does with this concept and does something with it, because it's just a fun mechanism.
Yeah.
So.
And we got both expansions, and now there's so many
it's
cards
both now.
you can't even predict what cards.
No,
are
you
coming
can't,
out.
and it makes the game so much different now, right? Because after the first one, before we had any expansions, I've played enough of those CCGs where I start to kind of see them, and I'm like, I know what I'm gonna do. But now I really can't do that because we mix the cards up so much that it's completely different. I love it.
I think my issue with this game, it's not really an issue. I still like the game quite a bit. My issue is I want more.
More of it.
There's
I can see that.
not enough of a game there for me.
Really?
I mean, I really enjoyed it, and the first few plays, I'm like, oh wow, this is awesome. But now I'm like, I want more. I want to take those cards and do something instead of just scoring points.
You're defeating your opponent.
No, I mean,
smashing them.
I mean, when I read the back of the rule book and it said, look for an awesome game with this
that's
concept
right.
coming up, and I'm like, oh, this is amazing. And
Yep.
And that's what I want. I want to take and use that mechanism to do something more other than a deck builder.
Yeah.
It could even be a deck builder, but then I take those cards and I'm kind of like Clank. I'm manipulating something or doing something on a board or
Gotcha.
doing.
Gotcha.
I want more to it than just the deck building part.
Yep. I can see that. So there you go. So yes, still going strong. Still love this game. I will continue to love this game. Mystic Vale. If you have not played it, give it a whirl. Especially if you like deck builder games.
Yep.
It's like a must try.
It's a good game. I want more. I want more.
You're so needy.
I want my cake and eat it too.
Oh my
I
gosh.
don't know what that means. My number 3 was my number 1 on the original list. And that is...
Wow.
The Oracle of Delphi.
I knew you were going to have that one on there. I was like, you
I
love that game way too much.
Oracle Delphi. If you look behind us, other than Amerigo, which is a humongous game up there, this is the Order of Feld. Look what's above Trajan now.
Oh, you sneaky devil.
My.
I don't know about
Could
that.
it be my favorite Feld? It might be my favorite Feld. It's close. Those two are really close together.
That's messed up.
So I love me some Oracle of Delphi. Amerigo would probably be like right in this line right here.
Oh my gosh, Amerigo.
Anyway.
A conversation. For
Anyway,
another time.
Oracle of Delphi, for all the reasons she said, I love that it's racing. I love that it's unique. I love at the end of the game, you go, I win, and it's over. There's no scoring. There's no filling out a score sheet, figure out who won. You're done. I win, you lose, and it's over.
You noticed what he said there? You see how that works?
You beat me last time we played.
I did. Darn right.
She won the last game.
That's right.
But I love that the board is always different.
Yes,
the
that's
tasks
so
that you
cool.
go through, the colors are randomized on what you're going for, so you don't necessarily know what's what. There's very little player interaction, which I like too, other than sniping people.
Yeah, it's not like I stole your temple or something.
Yeah, I'm
and you're
not
done.
blowing
And
up your dice or anything like that. There's not. It's got cards you can recruit superpowers. Everyone has a different ship that has a special ability. You can go for shields to fight monsters easier.
Yeah, that's cool too. Yeah.
You can do. I just like it. It's got dice. You roll dice, and you can manipulate those dice to do whatever actions you want to do.
Yeah, the art's kind of fun too. It kind of reminds me. I don't think it's quite as stepped up as like some of the other ones, but the art's colorful and the boats and everything. It's all color coded, and I just good old Feld. Good old Feld. We like our Felds.
Yeah, I really like that. I mean, Trajan's is I think meteor, but then you have the points.
Meteor?
You
Like an
have
asteroid?
the point salad going on. You got 10,000 different things happening, and I don't know. Just that one just is so smooth and has dice, and it's cool, and I really like it.
Oh, dice.
So it may
Dice,
be my favorite Feld, maybe. Oracle Delphi.
We may have to have a Feld discussion some night with you
Actually,
guys. I think that would be
it's
fun.
the Oracle of Delphi.
Way to go. Typo.
You wrote the same thing on yours.
Whatever.
All right, what's your number 2? We're getting to the good ones. This is the
know.
good
My
ones.
number 2.
Your number 2 is
He doesn't know.
I know you're 1 and 2. I just don't know the order, so I'm not gonna say because I'll spoil your number 1.
Okay.
But I
But-
think your number 2 is that.
You would be correct. My number 2 was my number 1 last time. And honestly, it's number 2 by like at least much. And that is Terraforming Mars. I know you're all surprised by this, right? Rebecca likes a space game. So, yes. Again, you didn't switch it over, IT. Come on now,
I was
Slacker.
looking at the chat.
You gawking at
Someone
the chat.
has me intrigued. Go ahead.
Fell down on the job.
Want to look something up? Go ahead.
So yeah, and everything he said, and just the fact that it's just a really solid game. I really love the fact that they put a little bit of thought into it to make it semi-realistic too, right? And, you know, the expectations of when things can develop and this and that are
Go ahead.
causing Hunter to freak out. No,
I'll discuss what I just saw after you're
I
done.
got that.
Terraforming Mars. Amazing.
It's a great game.
What do you like about it?
Everything.
What's your favorite thing about it? Throwing comments on people?
You know what? I have yet to have that happen, and I have yet to have that comment card show up in a game I've played. I just by random chance.
I got distracted because someone said that Stefan Feld's new game, Merlin, has been announced.
What?
And now I'm intrigued.
Oh, geez.
So I wasn't excited about Merlin, but now I am.
Oh,
Terraforming
dear.
Mars. She loves Terraforming Mars. She got cards, and she loves card games.
Yes. Oh, gaming wife, yes, because this is related to my Feld comment. How do you feel about the Feld hating the top 10 games by bad games by good designers? Yes, I wanted to smack them because they're like, Trajan sucks, and I'm like, oh, fighting words. Almost slapped Z.
We
It was
actually-
Z, wasn't it? Wasn't
Yeah,
it Z? Because
well-
we were like booing him from the back, but no one probably heard us.
Yeah, we were booing Z.
Yeah, we were actually in the audience going, what's wrong with you?
But what gets me is Z likes freaking Notre Dame and In the Year of the Dragon. Those games are mean.
I know. So I don't know. I got nothing. But a lot of people miss the theme in Trajan. I know it's subtler than some, but maybe it's just the Latin nerd in me. I don't know. I see it.
Well, I think
But I
that
don't
most
like
people's
it.
issue with Trajan is like 6 different mini games, and you get
That's
points for
true.
all
And
the
I'm
mini
like,
games.
ooh, more puzzly things to mix and match, and yeah. So anyway, there's that. I swear we need to have like a Feld discussion day or something, because it seems like everybody always has interesting comments.
I did not know about this Merlin.
See, look, you guys are like throwing cool new things at us,
Now
distracting us.
I got research to do. Thanks for giving me homework, Jobby. Jobby.
Jobby. Yeah,
Jobby.
he can't read.
Jobby.
Kill me.
You done with your number 2?
I'm done with my number 2. I was done, and then you went off on some tangent. Just saying.
Someone in the chat correctly predicted my 2 and 1.
I'm pretty sure I know you're 2 and 1, and I am relatively certain about the order.
Point to my 2. Nope.
Oh, I have it backwards.
My number 2.
Wow, intrigued.
Someone in the chat knows me better than you.
Well, that's not
My number
surprising.
2 is the greatness that is Skivvy!
Scythe. We really do know how to say it, I promise.
Scythe is awesome. I love that game so much. It just has some things against it to not make it number one, but it is an amazing game to be my number two. The biggest thing is, if you play with a lot of players, that game is
long game. Yes, but you know what? It was still entertaining.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Even we played the full player. No, we were one short.
Were we? I thought it was the full.
We played
thing.
it with 6.
Oh, it takes 7.
It takes 7 with.
Oh, I
expansions,
cannot imagine.
I think it does take 7. But anyway, we played it with 6, and it took like 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
I think, to play because we had some new players playing.
But it was entertaining as all get out because everybody's doing the story cards right, and there was smack talk abound. It was a great smack talking group. I think that was part of the fun. I don't know. But that game actually plays well.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. It has lots of things going for it. I love the resource management.
Yep.
I love the pseudo worker placement where you're putting workers on the board to harvest the resources from where those workers are.
Oh yeah.
And then I also like the thing that like in Eclipse where you're uncovering things that give you power.
Yeah.
So you're taking things from the top of your board to make powers more powerful and put them on the bottom of the board to get bonuses, and it just got so many different things in it. Like I like the fact that it's basically a race. You're trying to race to a certain number of stars, but that doesn't win you the game. That just triggers the end of the game.
Yeah.
Then you got
so
all
cool.
these different scorings of reputation and how many stars you have, and it's just, and you got the secret objectives, and you got all kinds of cool things. It's got so much going for it. The only drawback is it's a big game. It takes a while to play it. 2-player isn't so bad, but then the 2-player isn't quite as interesting.
Player's not as interesting because you kind of dance around each other for the longest time. At least we do. We don't usually straight head towards each other and attack right away, right? You're trying to build up your resources and stuff, so you can play that little dance where I'm like, I'm just going to shinny around this side of the map and try to avoid you altogether and try to build up faster than you. You know, you can do that in that game to a point. So...
I mean,
it's fun.
really, this game is 1B. I could flip flop my 1 and 2 when I get to it.
I was gonna say that was
depending on whether I want a big heavy kind of everybody get together and play a heavy game, or do I want something maybe a little lighter, maybe.
Like your number 1, perhaps.
My number 2, Scythe. It is a great game. It is epic in scale.
All right. My number 1, which apparently is no surprise. And it may change with more plays, but I apparently enjoyed the universe much more than you did. And that is Star Trek Ascendancy. I put it right up there with Fleet Captains. It's the Star Trek in a box, and the attacking and fights in this, for whatever reason, I guess because it's Star Trek, it's fully thematic to me. It doesn't bother me because I expect the Klingons to attack me.
You never get attacked.
That's right, because I'm sneaky and I'm like, I'm gonna go do science.
No, the last game we played...
No, they nuked me. You guys were like, she built up science and won last time. We can't let her do that again. So they're like, everybody just mauled me. It was ridiculous. So if you can, sneak by people and do the science and stuff, it's great. But yeah, once they figure that out, that's all over. You better build up your fleet.
And
it's fun.
And it's not designed to play 2-player, but we played a 2-player and it worked okay.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We kind of danced around again where we kind of avoided each other, and but
I came over pretty quick.
Oh no, that's true. I forgot. No,
out.
that's right. This game you did head straight for me because you're like, wait a second, because we played the multiplayer first, and you knew my strategy.
Well, yeah, we just kind of let her build up, and she did all this exploring, and then me and the Klingon dude was butting heads, and like, we need to attack her.
Yeah, you guys are butting heads with the wrong person. Yeah, you should have been attacking me. Yeah, the Federation lends itself more to a peaceful way. I mean, they can hold their own pretty well militarily, but they're not as powerful that way. I think they're really powerful doing the more sedate and peaceful things. Each faction's got their own little twist on things. And so, like the Klingons, oh my gosh, they build up military like you wouldn't believe. It's like popcorn over in the corner if you leave them alone. And, but, if you let the Federation explore and get away from you, man, we can just start building up like crazy. Get ascendancy points like you wouldn't believe. So I really like the, just the way they make it so that you're actually going and exploring and you're building the galaxy as you do it. So it's possible, like, you're never going to have the same game. It's impossible to have the same game because you're always going to be moving it to the planets to a different spot, and you physically position them as you're exploring, and it's just
Right.
it's amazing. I absolutely love that.
Yeah, that is a cool aspect
Felt
of it.
like you're exploring. I mean, it's cool.
I think this would be higher on my list if it was we could play it 2-player, and it had, I guess, more theme to it. I guess in terms
You
of
don't think it has enough theme?
it does have theme, but I'm talking like for example in Fleet Captains you have all those cards that
Okay,
have,
like the people.
that have encounters that happened in the shows and interaction with some of the characters that were in the show and things like that. Fleet Captains it's thematic in the fact that each faction is a little different and they play a little differently, but there's not as much of the characters going on and things like that. It's more of a up here rather than down in the terms of characters and episodes and interactions and things like
But
that.
this game, well, they have that to a point, as much as this game can, because the planets are thematic.
Yeah,
They have the planets that are the certain types that have certain encounters and stuff. They have it to a point.
but if you took, let's say you took and you made it 3 random aliens
Okay.
that played random. Basically
Oh, I
the
see what you're
similar way.
saying. Like,
Would
actually
you-
made the aliens.
Would it still work?
I see.
That's the reason. I think
Yeah,
that's why I
okay,
think I like. I mean, it's cheesy, but I like Fleet Captains better because I flip over a card and
It's that episode.
the Planet Eater is coming and attacking your ship, or you flip
That's
it over
true.
and the Tholians are attacking you with their webs, and it just.
But you still can explore SETI Alpha 5. I don't know. Just saying.
I mean, originally I thought I liked Ascendancy better, but I'm starting to pull back and think I like Fleet Captains.
I think
better.
we need to play it again before you just go out of your mind. That's just me.
But it's an amazing game.
So,
But not as amazing as.
tell us about your crappy cows, Hunter.
You want some crappy cows? I got you some crappy cows. My cows are the crappiest in the Great Western Trail.
Yeah! It's getting late.
Yeah, it is late for us.
Oh, man.
Great Western Trail, for all the reasons she said and more. I just love how
It's
smooth
man.
this game. It's just so
Super
smooth how this game works. The turns flow pretty quickly.
They do.
I love the set collection. It's basically you have a deck and you're trying to hand the cards, and the whole movement of your guy. You're doing all these different things, but really you're just trying to manipulate your deck in such a way that you have the most efficient, the best deck that you can get. It's a deck builder. It's pseudo worker placement because you kind of decide where your worker is going to go as he crosses the U.S. to head to Kansas
Or is that
City.
really action choices in a way, right?
It is kind of,
I don't know, it's
but
kind
I'm
of-
blocking you by being on that spot.
That's true. Well, no. I can go to the same spots.
Didn't think you could go to the same spot that I'm on.
Oh, no, you're right. You're right. You can't in that one. You're right. It does. Yeah, so I guess it is more worker placement than... That's kind of...
And you can build, the buildings are randomized. If you play the advanced version, you randomize which buildings you have, so you don't know. I mean, we have the same buildings, but the ones that are coming out are random, so you kind of change your strategy based on what buildings are coming out.
Yeah.
You have many different paths to victory. Some people say the Cowboy is the best path. I think it's a great path, but I think the moving that train, you get a ton of points by
Oh, my
moving that
gosh,
train.
yeah. That's crazy.
And building buildings, the high point buildings are tons of victory points.
Jobby says the game's so smooth, the cows make butter right when you milk them.
That's pretty good.
It's like butter.
Is that trademark or can I take that? That is good. So smooth.
gotta
The
quit looking at you
cows
guys.
make butter right when you milk them.
That's
That
pretty...
is awesome. That may be an ender.
You're on fire tonight, Jobby. Woo! Man. Oh, my gosh. That's fantastic. I can't breathe.
Anyway, Great Western Trail. If I'm looking for a heavy game, Scythe is going to be the game.
Yeah.
If I'm looking for a smooth Euro game
We're gonna make some butter.
that's relatively easy to teach, Great Western Trail is a choice. And since this one will hit the table more, Great Western Trail is my number one.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I was shocked because my list last year, let's see, stuff that didn't appear like... stuff now, it's in my teens or the early 20s. All of them dropped significantly. Like, I had Star Trek Panic on there. I love that game. But these other games just kind of blew it away for me, right? D&D Dice Masters has dropped significantly. Archaeology, I think it just narrowly missed my top 10. I really love that game. Imhotep, that one dropped a lot. And I think, again, kind of had to do with we tend to be hitting heavier games lately. And Imhotep's fun, but that one hasn't hit as much for us because it is so light. And we ended up getting a whole slew of games that were more on level with our kids, to where this one's kind of in between right now. So it kind of slipped through the cracks a little bit, I think.
They said that you can be in the same location as Great Western Trail.
Can you? Okay. So I was right? Okay. We're going to have to look this up now.
You haven't played it in a couple months.
Yeah, it's been a while. Capital Lux, I love that game, but we just haven't played it as much lately, and so, I think it's just a little bit down out of this top 10, really and truly.
I think you hit on it, though, is all the light games kind of... I think for me, anyway, the heavier games, the mid to heavyish weight games, those for me have more staying power. Because I want to keep going back to them. For me, the lighter games, they cycle through, right? So the newer light games are the one I'm playing, and the older ones kind of cycle out.
Yeah.
Whereas games like Through the Ages and Viticulture and other games that are escaping my mind, the bigger heavier games seem to have, for me anyway, more staying power. I might go, oh yeah, I really like that game. Let's try it again. But if it's a light game, it's like, okay, what's the new light game? King Domino? Okay, let's play that one.
Yeah, that's true. We kind of cycle through them. And, yeah, in fact, I'm thinking I may post somewhere my top 32 for 2016, to be honest, because I feel like all 32 of the ones that I put on my list that I thought of right away, I wouldn't say, oh, I thumb my nose at any of them. I liked them all. And I would not turn down any of them. It's just that we had those heavy hitters in the top 10. And really, for me, I feel like my top 15 were my heavy hitters. I feel like it was really hard for me to say we're only going to do our top 10. I was trying to push for doing a 15, but I knew it would take us too long because it's just so cool.
Do you think the reason there's so many is I was just thinking 2016 is our first full year to be in the industry.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because we started doing.
You mean like that's true and being up to date
at the end of? So we're playing more of the games. Do you think could 2015 be just as good, but we didn't play as many games?
2015 was really strong. I don't think it was that. We weren't as on top of it as far as playing the games in a timely fashion to be in the whole Cult of the New group, right? You know what I mean? Like, to be able to keep up with everyone else that's doing reviews at the same time. I would say that this last year and a half or so, we're finally, like, kind of up to speed. We were still catching up and playing, like, we'd go back and find old games that people are like, this is a must-play and stuff like that.
Right.
So I feel like that was... I don't think we were... This may be the first year we were caught up. But I think 2015, honestly, was just as strong. But I think, I would say our product knowledge has risen.
Yeah.
To the point.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
Too.
Because honestly, I think the last 2 years are the strongest years that we've seen in a really long time, with the exception of years that hit before we really were board gaming heavy. And if if for those of you Dice Tower fans, go back and look at Tom's, like, looking back at the best games of each year. He talks about a couple of years that were super strong, but it was before we were really into board gaming.
2000, I want to say
5 or 6 was really strong. Yeah, and we weren't really board gaming then. I didn't even know him then. So, yeah, it was kind of interesting to see that, and I think we just had such super strong years the last couple of years, and it's just really exploded.
So, someone asked, what about for the kids for 2016?
Ooh. Okay. Ice Cool. And Star Trek Panic was a hit. Sushi Go Party is probably going to be the number one.
Yeah.
Because, oh my goodness. And I can't remember if I should do a live play with Nessa of Sushi Go Party soon, because
I think you did.
Did I?
I think you did.
Did I?
While I was in Panama, I think you did.
Did I? No, I can't remember. Gosh, how horrible. It's been so long. Nessa sets up the board herself. I just let her go at it, and she picks whatever combo she thinks is going to work, and she even checks to make sure it's not a 3 or 4 player only card and stuff. It's really cute. And she's ready to go, man. And they like the give and take and the playing of that. And in the last couple months, actually this summer, I've played so many games of Sushi Go Party. Animals on Board, that's also a big hit, yes.
Ice Cool Animals
Ice Cool on Board. And then I would think, I want to introduce Nessa. I think she could probably handle Emotep with help now. She's picking up, King Domino. King Domino was also a huge hit. Yeah. Again, especially with Nessa, surprisingly. She really got into that. The only thing we have to watch her, sometimes she forgets the format of the 5x5 grid.
Yeah.
So we have to kind of watch her, make sure she doesn't kind of cheat, but it's unintentional. And honestly, she keeps pretty good track of that. Yeah. So I'm, especially since we don't really help her with that.
That's a slightly more advanced concept of, because it's almost abstract in thinking that it's 5x5, right?
Yeah.
I think if we put a grid down, it may make it easier, but then you'd have to move the thing to match the grid.
Yeah. Yep. So I mean that's pretty much those were the heavy hitters for them. Animals on Board, Ice Cool. Well, no, they haven't played Iberia yet.
Best
but
Treehouse ever. I think.
That's not a 2016.
Is it? No.
I don't think so.
Is it not?
I don't think so. Oh look, he's checking. If so, then good heavens, they're gonna. Yeah, 2015. Haha. But yeah, I would say Sushi Go Party and King Domino were probably the top 2.
Yep. All right. I think we're going to wrap it up here, folks. We're well over an hour. We thank everyone that was watching live. We thank you so much for hanging in there and helping us.
Yes, thank you, because I'm
letting us get through our computer problems. I walked in from work and it was updating. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, it's like it's been sitting here. I turned it on early, thank goodness.
I don't know what it is about Windows 10 updates, but every single time it uninstalls something.
Yeah, this time it decided to uninstall USB drives on my computer.
Yeah,
so we just
shut down all our
everything.
We had to use the touchpad on the laptop to.
Even my mouse disappeared. It's the weirdest thing. Windows 10. Nah. I like how we started and ended our video with the same.
Well, it's a little frustrating, but it is live.
Yeah, but you guys,
we're making the choice to do this live.
To do it live, yeah.
And we thank you for sticking around, and you want to exit us. And I don't know if we'll be doing anything else this week. Hopefully, we will do something. If not, look for pictures and things on the Twitterverse / face. My face. My face.
Yeah, we're gonna try. It's kind of hectic, but we're gonna do what we do. We're gonna try to do something.
The exit story will have to wait for a Q&A.
Yes. Exit story will be another day.
So exit us by telling us a story.
Telling you a story. Once upon a time, we turned off a computer and went to bed. The end. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. We love you, and until next time.
Bye, guys.